Welcome back to Horn and Fin Outdoors, and thank you for coming to watch my video to show you how easy it is to spool your own reels at home. So spooling a reel is not that difficult. I see people all the time paying money at tackle shops and stuff to have it done. It's really not that hard. I am going to be spooling this conventional Penn reel. Now, keep in mind, whatever kind of reel you're going to use, the techniques are still the same, just the reel looks different. It's not a big deal. So this is a Penn Squall 2. I just purchased this reel and I can't wait to use it. I'm out here in the water right now, and as soon as I get it spooled, I'm going to try it out. If you want to see the review I did on this reel, I will link it up above in the corner so you can click on it and check it out. Now, I'm going to be using this 30-pound Power Pro braided line. It's pretty much all I use on all my rods, just different poundage, but I like Power Pro. It's not a real high end. I'm sure there's better stuff out there, but I've had good luck with it, so that's why I keep using it. Keep in mind, anything you see in this video, if you want to buy it, if you like it and you think you want to buy it, I will put Amazon links in the description and also the comments of this video, so you can go there and you can buy anything you see in the video, and it helps me out because I make a little bit of a commission off it, so it helps me make more content. So I'd appreciate it if you're interested. Just give those links a click and go buy it from Amazon. Now, when you're spooling braided line, one of the most important things to do in the very beginning is to put some sort of base layer of either mono or fluoro in. Now, you don't have to put a whole lot, but you need to put something. And what that does is that gives a surface for the braid to bite into. If you try and spool braid onto an empty spool, what can happen is the braid can slip and it will tighten up on itself. It'll get loose in some spots, tight in others, and it's going to make a big knotted mess. So I'm going to recommend that you start with this. I'm using it's Seagar 30-pound. It's fluorocarbon. I use it for leaders and also the base of this stuff. So I've got it laying around. It doesn't much matter what you use, because if you think about it, it's only going to be the bottom, the bottom few turns on your reel, and it's just enough. You just want enough underneath there to give the braid something to stick to. Now, of course, I've got a problem here, and my spool is going to be messed up. So give me a second to unscrew this problem. All right, I think I got it licked. I just had to cut some of it away. And I'm going to start, what I like to do is I like to start by just using like the first eyelet on the rod. I don't usually use the whole rod, but I'm going to come through the first eyelet, and then I'm going to go to the reel. Now, this reel is, since it has a level wind to it, you want to put the line through that little gimmick there, because you'll see when I spin this, that moves back and forth as you're reeling the line in, and that's what keeps your line nice and even across the spool. So I've got to go in through there first, and then I get it inside that hole, and I'm going to wrap it around the spool in there. So all I'm going to do is wrap it around that spool once, then go back and wrap it around again, so it's around there twice, and then I'm going to just tie a simple half hitch knot. So I got it around once and twice. I'm going to come back up around here and just tie a simple half hitch knot, so it gives it something to stick to, and it's a little bit tight on the spool. So I've got the knot tied tight. Okay, and I'm going to cut the tag end off. I cut that tag end off, left just a little bit on there. And now the reason why I'm not too concerned with this is that this is just a backing to this braided line. So it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be crazy, because we're just using it to back up the line. Now all I'm going to do is just turn this reel. I've got it going, the line's going across one way. It gets to one side, and and now it goes back across the other. And what I'm doing is while I'm spinning this, I'm keeping tension on the front of it with my left hand, and the line goes back across the other side, and that's it. That's all I need to do. I just want to get a base layer of line in there so that way the braid has something to grab onto. So now I'm going to take this out of here and I'm going to cut it off. Now we're ready for our braid. So here's my Power Pro. I'm going to open it up out of the box. And what I like to do is, there's a couple different ways that I do this, depending upon where I am or what I'm doing. But a lot of times I will put, it's got a center to the spool. I'll poke a pencil through there and have somebody hold it with their fingers and put a little bit of tension on it while I'm reeling. But since I'm by myself, I'm just going to let this bounce around on the floor of the boat, and I'm going to put the tension on it with my fingers as I'm reeling to make sure I get it nice and tight on the reel. Now, it doesn't have to be, bound up on there, but you definitely want to keep the line snug while you're reeling it in. And the first thing I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to attach the braid to the fluoro. And my favorite way to do that is by using an FG knot. I did a tutorial on how to tie an FG knot, so if you want to see that, I'll link it up above. I'm not going to show it in this video because it takes a little bit of time to tie it, but I'm going to connect it with an FG knot. I'll show you the knot when it's done. So we're going to take a little quick break so I can tie this knot. Okay, I got my FG knot tied. Here it is. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but that's it. And the reason why I like this knot, it is a super strong knot, but it's very flat. It's not a big bulky knot that's going to get caught up in your line while you're tying it up. And what happens is if you just use a regular old knot in there and you spool your line on, that knot gets, all the line gets wrapped around that knot. When you cast it, you're going to have issues with it. It's going to, it's hard to describe the noise it's going to make, but it's going to get all wrapped up in that knot and it's going to give you problems. So this knot is a very thin, flat knot, very strong knot. It's going to hold, which I don't have to worry about because it's the bottom of the spool anyways, but it's not going to get caught up in the rest of the line. So there's the FG knot. So we're almost home now, and the rest is very easy. It's just a little bit time consuming sometimes. All you've got to do now is hold the line with one hand and just reel. That's it. Hold the line and reel. And now that line is going to get spooled onto there, and you just keep going and going and going until you have as much on there as you want. Now, this rod will apparently hold something like 700 yards of 30-pound braid. I'm only putting on there about 300 yards of braid. I never like to fully bulk up my my rods. I always leave some room at the end of the spool. I don't like having that much line on there, and it's not necessary for the type of fishing I'm doing anyway. So that's it. Now I'm gonna just sit here and crank all this line on, making sure I keep some pressure up here with my left hand, and that spools the line on there nice and tight. Like I said, sometimes it helps if you have someone else hold the spool for you and they can put some tension on the spool, but I'm by myself, so this is how it's gonna get done. I'm just gonna finish spooling this up and hopefully get out and catch some fish with this rod in a couple minutes once I'm done here. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you coming along. Remember, if there's anything you see in this video that you like, the line, the scissors, whatever, there's gonna be links to buy it on Amazon, and it helps me out a little bit. I make a couple dollars off and helps me make some more content. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learn something here and you figure out that it's kind of fun and enjoyable to do this on your own rather than pay somebody to do it. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, I wish you nothing but tight lines and short blood trails. Thanks for watching. Dude.